So what can we do? I already mentioned some. Other alternatives is to have vendor managed inventory, which is the case when the vendor actually takes control of inventory. They have an incentive to reduce the amount of inventory that they have, so you don't have to worry. They are not pushing the product to be in our warehouse, and it's only after that we consume the product, even though it's in our own, in the customer warehouse, it is not considered part of the inventory of the customer until it's used by the customer. And that way there is a big incentive to reduce the amount of inventory, the excess of inventory, when it's not needed. We have just-in-time replenishment and the reduction of the lot size. We have demand-driven MRPs. MRP is a manufacturing resource planning system, which allows us to predict how much we need to produce based on demand. We have strategic partnerships. Strategic partnerships are important to communicate with others and create seamless integration between different companies. I have seen a company that manufactures all the interiors for the Volkswagen, and you would think that operation is part of the Volkswagen company, but it's actually not. And they generate all the interiors, including the dashboards, the material that covers the ceiling of the car, the roof of the car, on the interior, the material that, of course, the carpets and the different type of leathers or synthetic material that covers the seats, and essentially all that operation is done by Johnson Controls and the operation of several manufacturing plants work together to deliver just in time the complete set of dashboard and carpets and seats and everything else to the car that is going to be assembled, that is going in the right colors for a particular car that is being assembled that very minute. That wouldn't be possible if they don't have more than just a commercial transaction. They need to have a complete strategic partnership and coordination that goes beyond just the mere commercial transaction. They need to share information. They need to understand the flow of products. They need to coordinate deliveries. And every single problem needs to be talked immediately, because whatever happens in some place in which they are manufacturing seats could affect the whole production line in the automobile manufacturer or assembly line. We talk about reduction of batch sizes and more frequent replenishments. And we also talk about eliminating pathological incentives by not having promotion but everyday low prices, and restrict returns of orders, and allocations based on sizes, on current size in case of shortages. Associated to this, Dr. Lee from Stanford University has recently published a paper in which supply chains that are AAA, he suggests, have the following 3 A's. They have agility, they have adaptability, and they have alignment. The agility is the capacity to respond in short term to the current changes without changing the infrastructure that the supply chain has. Embedded in the infrastructure is the capacity to change and respond to the needs of the customer. Another characteristic is the adaptability, that is the actual capacity to change the infrastructure of the supply chain in order to deal with special cases if so is the need. And there is an example of this when Toyota tried to introduce the Prius in the United States market. They didn't do it by using the traditional channels, but they had a centralized stockyard of cars, and they distributed essentially by each one of the orders because they didn't know what would be the pattern for the orders to come, given that it was a new technology. So this concept is the pooling the risk. We will talk about pooling the risk in other videos. Finally is the alignment, that is the work together as a seamless integrated system with shared goals across different boundaries of responsibility. Now, these shared goals should also have shared performance measures, because otherwise you would have a case like in the 1980s in Hewlett-Packard, HP had a division of semiconductor manufacturing. For them, the goal was to have a very small number of or amount of inventories, but the production of printers required this inventory, and because there were shortages of these circuits, therefore, in order to have good response by the customers, the operation of the printers needed more inventory, and overall that was more costly for Hewlett-Packard, even though each one separate the integrated circuits and the printer divisions, each one of them were happy. So that it is the consequences of not having an alignment. So that is the explanation about the bullwhip effect. And I hope it's clearer now and what is the relevance and the importance of it. Thank you very much, and see you in further videos.